This weekend, President Ruto was in Uganda and he talked about abolishing all the trade quotas between the 7 countries making up the East African community. But this got me to thinking, what if we were to abolish all the boundaries, including all the barriers, and identify ourselves as one country? Would this be good or bad for us as Kenyans? Well, to find out, you gotta stick till the end of the video. But if you're new to this channel, consider hitting the subscribe and push bell notification buttons for crazy analysis like this every single day. To start off with, let's look at some reasons why this could be a good thing for us. Reason number 1, we would have the 10th largest army in the world. Currently, Egypt holds the number 10 spot with 438,500 men. But if we were to combine the power of all our forces, we would have a whopping 469.1 thousand men. Now, why is this so significant? Those who have the power dictate the policies in the world. Think about it. Everyone, including me, you, and every single one of your friends knows that Russia is wrongfully aggravating Ukraine at the moment. But why is nobody able to stop them and wage war against them? They're afraid of the grade A uranium weapons that Russia possesses that could wipe a city to dust within minutes. Now, recently, President Museveni of Uganda wanted to put a pipeline from Tanzania to Uganda, which faced potential sanctions from the EU. Now, he went through it with it and said, your economy is dog shit, don't tell us what to do. But if we had this massive, powerful army, they wouldn't even have the audacity to open their mouth in the first place. Point number 2, by unifying the borders, they'll have to have one common currency. Now, this Kenyan shilling over here can only take me from here to Mombasa and back. But a unified currency would be useful in every single one of the 7 states of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, DRC, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Rwanda. It's needless to say, a more useful currency is a more powerful currency. And a more powerful currency, well, you can dot the rest of the dots for yourself. Point number 3, we could utilize each other's resources to make each other stronger. Now take this statistic. South Sudan has a whopping 3.5 billion barrels of oil. Yeah, you heard that right. But given their economic situation, they have no means to extract this and make that oil useful. So it's a beautiful resource that's just laying idle. But using the infrastructure and resources of all the 7 combined nations, we could together extract that oil and instead of importing it, use it for our own domestic use. This could help us see prices of fuel at the pump at 20 shillings a litre. You heard that right, 20 shillings a litre from the all-time high of 179 that is right now. Now, fuel is a very important resource because it not only fuels cars for transport, but it helps your employees get to work, it helps you run your machines in industry. So overall, it will bring down the cost of production, able to combat inflation on a scale never seen before. And this is just oil I talk about. What about the clove trade from Zanzibar and other minerals from Burundi such as nickel, vanadium, castrite, colombo tantalite, gold, uranium, rare earth oxides, peat, cobalt, copper, platinum, hydropower, neodymium, tantalum, gold, tin, tungsten, kaolin, and limestone, just to name a few. If we were able to harness all these resources and produce them on scale in an efficient way, there's nothing this economy cannot do. Now guys, if you're liking this video so far, we're already about halfway. Please consider hitting that like button. It really takes this channel a long way and helps us deliver more fabulous content towards you. But so far, I've made everything seem like a perfect utopia in paradise. Why isn't this possible? Why aren't we doing it? Well, What seems perfect in theory may not always be practical. So for the next half of this video, I'm going to consider some of the limitations as to why it is not possible to unify the 7 states to form one East African country. Reason number 1, the difference in political and religious ideologies. Now think about it. Kenya, majority Christian populated, while South Sudan is a Muslim country. Not to say one is better than the other, but this is an area in which conflict may occur given how the patterns in the world are seen. Furthermore, if you want to take it from a political standpoint, Kenya is more like a perfect democracy. Not perfect, but people have the right to vote. Presidents only serve 2 terms, while Uganda, although it is democratic, runs in a more fascist way where a president can serve as many terms as he wants, and it's more military run. Now, who is to say which one is better than the other? Both have their pros and cons, and it will bring room for conflict in deciding whose ruling method is better, as the losing party would definitely feel neglected in the situation. As they like to say, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. And in this scenario, trying to fix it could actually lead to global catastrophe. Point number 2, such a process would be extremely bureaucratic and time consuming, as a whole new constitution will need to be drawn up and a referendum will have to be had for people to vote. New buildings will have to be put in place, and a president, especially in a country like Kenya, who may only have 5 years if he's serving 1 term, may not even get to see the fruition of a policy he started in trying to unify these countries. Now, he may not want to waste his time in using taxpayers' money in trying to address such a huge issue when there are more pressing issues affecting our nation, such as the 3.1 million Kenyans who are starving from drought. Now, this is a very glorified idea and may be applicable to the future, but right now, how can a president justify working on a big project like this when literally people in this country are dying by the minute because they have no food on their table? Go check out my video on the drought, tag above to hear more information about that serious issue affecting our nation. Point number 3, a country like Burundi only has a population of 11.89 million versus countries like Kenya with 53.77 million or DRC with a population of 89.56 million. Therefore, by unifying, such countries may feel quite small that their voice may be neglected, and such an issue may want them to not join in this East African community, and no one can be forced into such a merger, as that would literally be colonialism. So in getting every single state to agree would be quite a lengthy process, especially for like these smaller nations. In conclusion, although this is a fabulous idea, I feel like it's still years before we're even ready to have the conversation on these issues, but nothing is impossible. I mean, think about it. Arsenal are number 1 on the Premier League table. Anyways, guys, that's been my analysis for today. Shout out to my brother David Wafula. Link in the bio to his video that explained this topic so well, that gave me the insights that I used today. And guys, leave a comment down below on anything else you want me to analyze, and I promise I'll get back to you, or we'll even create the video for you. This has been great fun, but for now, as usual, peace.